There was a police officer up there from an earlier patient. And on his radio, we could hear another Metro officer yell out, "Shots fired." Dr. Menez decided to spring into action.
The first thing that I remember doing was going over to the secretaries and telling them I needed every operating room open immediately.
Every time I heard the volley of gunfire, I tried to get my wife behind something that I felt was relatively safe.
Around 10 o'clock, I was notified that there was a mass casualty shooting.
Unfortunately, the person had a gunshot wound to the head, so I told my wife that that person wasn't going to be able to be helped. I looked at my wife, we kind of both looked at each other and said at the same time that we need to get to the medical tent. And identified myself as an emergency room provider. We unfortunately had several patients who were expired or were beyond our limited capability to help.
You can hear these sirens off in the distance, you know, and they're just getting louder and louder and louder.
The first car that came in was, I believe, a Metro Cruiser, had 4 to 6 people in it.
They were bringing in some of the sickest patients I've ever seen.
We had just a mass influx of ambulances, probably 10 to 15 at a time.
Once patients started to arrive, it was overwhelming.
And, you know, I'd pull them out of the car, assess them really quickly, try to, you know, make a educated decision on how sick these patients are. Are they going to end up dying in the next few seconds if we don't do something about it?
We had no idea it was going to be that many patients arriving. My kids all go to a private school here in Las Vegas, and there was a couple classmates that were shot at the event. They were pretty upset about it.
There was one patient that came in. She was about 24, 25 years old. Her hair was all matted with blood. And when we got her out of the ambulance, she wasn't breathing. So I jumped on top of the gurney and did CPR as we ran towards the red section. But she was already dead. She couldn't be revived. I have a daughter approximately the same age who loves country music, who very easily could have been at that concert.
You know, as an ER doctor, I bring people back to life. I keep them alive for a little bit, but these surgeons are the miracle workers. These are the guys who, you know, stop the bleeding. These are the guys who save the lives.
There was blood everywhere. There was blood all over the floors. The housekeepers did an amazing job.
One of the anesthesiologists reminded me of this later. She said, "You told one of them," she said, "you're a shark. Get out there and find blood." And what I meant by that was, you know, there are people out here dying. Go find them amongst this sea of people. And so that's what we did. You know, we just kept doing this like sharks, you know, hovering, you know, swimming around the ocean. We were looking for people who were dying. And we keep on finding these patients amongst this group. There was a lot of people who could have potentially died that night, and our team saved them.